तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Manash Mishra.
ॐ वन्दे देव उमापति सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिम् ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते ॐ असिताङ्गरुचण्डकृतभयङ्कर कपाली विष्णुसंहार अष्टभैरव अष्टनायक ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अहम ब्रह्मास्मि। Good morning, everyone. For all the people from India, and good evening and good night from all the other parts of the world, from wherever you have joined. And here we go with another part of revelations or realizations. As I had told during the last Wednesday session that we will be conducting one. So finally Shivji disappeared. So hopefully this is going to be another amazing way of unfolding our own true realities. And especially when जब हम ये बात करेंगे कि how to realize that state of Bhairava or Bhairavi within our own selves. Although initially I thought this should only go to Mahanirvana, then again we always break certain things, because if this is coming to the regular people, then Mahanirvana will be getting something more than that, I believe, or more deeper knowledge to it. But that doesn't matter, because this information that we are going to discuss right now, this wisdom that we are going to decode, is in itself an amazing space which we will unfold slowly today. धीरे धीरे उसके ऊपर जैसे जैसे वो खुलते जाएगा, we will be talking about two specific things today. Like, in order to realize that state of Bhairava, there are two major things that we will be discussing, as I said. One is Nava Atma Bhedan, which is as per the Bhairava Agama, and also the Trishira Bhairava Tantra. So we'll be talking about the 9 different realms of consciousness about Bhairava and the designs of it, and as well as the counterpart of it, as well as Shakti or Bhairavi. So in order to get into this, let's begin with a story then. A story, एक कहानी ऐसा जो आपने सुना होगा शायद, because I have heard it quite many times from many people. But I think like this would give an idea where to begin. So it goes like this. Obviously, always the setting goes into a Gurukul, where a student goes to the teacher and asks like, I want to take Vairagya. मुझे वैराग्य लेना है, तो कृपा करके मुझे guide करे, please guide me. Then the teacher, who was quite well known, he said one thing: do you want to be known as a Vairagya or a Vairagi or a student or one who has left everything, or you want to attain to that? And वो क्या बोलना चाहते थे, तू खाली वैरागी दिखना चाहता है या वैरागी होना चाहता है? And there is a huge difference in that, because anyone can change the color of their cloth and look like that. और दिखना और होने में दो बहुत बड़े फर्क होता है. So he chose, he said, no, I don't just want to look like that, but I want to be that. So the same question, you want to look like a Bhairava and a Bhairavi, or you want to become that? Because it is, when I unfold that, then you will think like looking is much easier, I believe. Because this path is coming directly from none other than Shiva itself, who is the direct guide of all this, and his ways are very typical, and these are even older than the Vedas itself. This knowledge that we are going to talk about, it predates the Vedas. So you must be, it is the only way from where it can come, and it is directly coming from the mouth of the Mahabhairava itself, Mahakala himself, who is none other than Shiva. So here, that story that I would like to continue is, he said, so you want to look like one, or you want to become that? So he said, no, I want to become that. Then the Guru said a very typical thing. If you really want to become that, this is the last time we are going to meet. And from this day on, we are not going to meet. Now, how many chose that they want to become a Bhairava now? Okay, good. So then this would be the last time we meet. I see. Now, the desire or the fear both come into play. नहीं प्रीति जी, अरे ऐसे कैसे छोड़ के जा सकते हो आप? ठीक है, कहानी सुन लो पहले. So the Guru said, okay, we are not going to meet until I call you. तब तक नहीं मिलेंगे जब तक मैं तुमको नहीं बुलाता हूं. And what you have to do? You just go, take rest today. From tomorrow morning, you will be taken to a place where you have to, वो चावल कूटते हैं ना, you have to, in the granaries, you have to bring, like, you have to create that rice out of that grains and all those things. That's the work that you have to do every day, and no other work. He said, okay, if you say so. And the Guru says, this is the only thing that you will require, because after that you won't require anything. He says, amazing. So as per his, as the Guru said, the student goes, rests that day. उस दिन शाम को रेस्ट कर लेता है, सुबह उठता है और चावल कूटने में लग जाता है. And as the teacher said, you are not going to meet, he agrees to that, and just every single day what he used to do, चावल कूटने का काम है. सुबह उठता, चावल कूटता, दिन भर. And what he realized within few days is, while doing this work, he said, this is a very easy task to do every day, and it is a mundane task. कुछ सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है इसमें, कुछ ध्यान मतलब ज्ञान लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ बुद्धि लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है इस सारी चीजों में, क्योंकि विजय जी रोज सुबह उठना है, चावल कूटना है, तो इसमें क्या बुद्धि की जरूरत? It has become like a routine for him. So what he started doing is, he started using his all those things. वो सोचने वाली जो क्षमता थी उसको धीरे धीरे उसको छोड़ने लगा वो. And within few months, what he realized is his thoughts became almost nil. Why? Because he has only one thing to do. सुबह उठना, चावल कूटना, दिन भर काम करना, रात को खा लेना, सो जाना. यही काम था उसका. किसी से बातचीत नहीं, किसी से कुछ भी नहीं. And he continuously did this for almost 12 years. Never questioned why the Guru has not called me. Because, you see, he has even dropped that idea that he will be called. वो सिर्फ एक ही काम करता कि बुद्धि लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, यही काम करते जाना है. सुबह उठता वही करता, दिन भर वही करता, शाम. Then after almost 12 years, that Guru has become old, and he was searching for a person who can take over. But he was a very strict one. So he said, now all these years what you have learned, उनके जो अलग शिष्य जो थे उनको एक कहा जाता है कि that all the other students, like whatever you have learned through me or in your sadhana, you have to write one statement on my, he has a board in front of his room, and he said, you just come and write your statement. whoever believes he is the most intelligent one or who is ready to take my place, he should come and write. And mind you, it should not be copied from anywhere. ये तुम्हारा स्वयं का ज्ञान होना चाहिए, किसी और का दिया हुआ, लिया हुआ या पढ़ा हुआ नहीं होना चाहिए. And as he was very strict, nobody dared. But there was one intelligent fellow. What he did is, in the night, he went and wrote something, one statement, and moved out from that place. When the Guru woke up in the next morning, he came, read that, and started shouting, "Who is that idiot who has written this?" Now, what was written there? It was written that your mind is like a mirror, and on which there is dust. And once the dust is removed, the mind is clear. Great statement, na? All the other students were saying, "Wow, what a great statement, but why is this old fellow shouting now? Ye gaaliyan kyun de raha hai?" And he said, "Call that fellow who has written that." But that fellow was too intelligent. He has already ran away and informed his friends that if he is happy, call me. If he is angry, don't let me know. I won't return back. And this was the condition. And the teacher shouted a lot on others that, "What have you learned? Nothing. This is just a copy paste. You are vomiting and nothing else." And slowly the students dispersed. And while going through that small little hut where this person is always working with this rice, जो धान कूटता था और चावल कूटता था बैठ के, उसके पास से जाते और he says, "What happened?" तो ये उसको पूरी कहानी बताते हैं कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है. This has happened. The Guru is ready to give उत्तराधिकारी को चुनना है, but his criteria is somebody should write some knowledge which he has learned, not from others. Then he said, "What is the big deal in it?" So जो बाकी सारे थे, बिग डील, हमारा जो बेस्ट था उसने लिखा और उसको गालियां पड़े. He said, "Then I can help you with that." Now these people were stunned, like, "What can you do? We have seen you for the past 12 years. You have not done any single thing except sitting here and doing this work. And we have been churning Vedas, Puranas, and mantras and tantras, everything. What will you do?" He said, "See, I have only one condition. I cannot write, but I can tell, and you have to write it. But if that has, अगर वो करने से मुझे उत्तराधिकारी बनना है तो मुझे नहीं करना है. But I can say something that can be written out there." तो ये दो कहते हैं कि तू छोड़ ना, वो सब हम लिख देंगे तेरे बदले में. We will write it on your behalf, so don't worry on that part. But he says, "But I'm not ready to take that responsibility that will come along with that." He says, "Don't worry, हमें पता है उसको, तू जो बोलेगा उसको भी गालियां ही पड़ने वाले हैं." So he says, "Okay, go, just write this. What mirror? What dust? Nothing is there. No mirror, no dust." तो जाके लिख देते, डर डर के लिख देते, बोला गालियां पड़ेंगे फिर से. And the Guru comes and says, "Who has written this?" And then one of the students says, "That fellow that is in that hut, उसने लिखा है." Then the Guru quietly goes off and visits that student in the night. तो रात में वो गुरु शिष्य के पास जाता है और कहता है, "तू यहां से भाग जा. You run away from this place." He was so happy to see his Guru that after 12 years, he has appeared in front of him. And now he says, "You run away." So why should I run away? क्यों भाग जाऊं? Then the Guru brings out all his wisdom, knowledge, whatever he has gathered all through his life. He gives it in his hand. He says, "मैं तुझे अपना उत्तराधिकारी चुनता हूं, लेकिन ये लोग तुझे जीने नहीं देंगे. They will not allow you to live here. They might kill you. But what I have understood is they won't realize that but just by doing this daily work, you got realization, and by learning all that, they never got it. तो ये धान कूटते कूटते भी तुझे एक क्षमता आ गई कि जहां पे तू विचारशील विचारहीन हो गया, वहां पे तेरे को विचार ही नहीं रहे और तू समाधि को प्राप्त हो गया और तू रोज का रोज वही कार्य करता रहा और इसलिए तुझे उस ज्ञान का उद्योग हो गया तेरे अंदर। और ये लोग कुछ नहीं सीख पाए, दे डिड नॉट रियलाइज एनीथिंग, बट इट इज अ डेंजर टू योर लाइफ नाउ बिकॉज दे वोंट अलाउ। क्योंकि ज्ञान जो होता है ना, जो ज्ञानी होते हैं ना, वो विवेकशील को रहने नहीं देते। जो विजडम को उपलब्ध होता है ना, उसे एजुकेशनिस्ट रहने नहीं देते, क्योंकि ज्ञान अलग परिभाषा है और बुद्धि अलग। So it does not matter what process we follow. All that matters is how dedicatedly you are doing that part. It can be as simple as just watching your breath, or it can be as tough as standing on your head and doing the dhyan or jap for years together. But the best part is, you people have chosen to be here now. Is it so? Or you have been chosen to be here now? Because there are many creation in the creative world, but no one will realize why they were here. There are dogs, there are stones, there are trees, there are plants, there are so many things in this creation. But as a human, you have the potential to realize your own consciousness. You have the potential to realize your own greatness. A dog might bark, but he doesn't know why it is barking. He doesn't even know that he is barking. A tree bears fruits, but it doesn't know that it's bearing fruits. It is not that they don't have emotions, they don't have memory, they have, but they don't know. And after all these travels through different realms, if you have appeared here, don't die like a tree, don't die like a dog. Realize your own consciousness. Because this is the place, because it is said, it is only human who can become God. And it is only human who can realize that the God is no one else but he or she himself. So if you have chosen to sit here, my work now is to pass on whatever it has been kept in a very hidden space. Why hidden? ये ज्ञान को छिपा के क्यों रखा गया? ये ज्ञान को छिपा के इसलिए रखा गया क्योंकि ये ज्ञान की शक्ति इतनी ज्यादा है. If misused, it backfires. Because you don't give a knife in the hand of a 6-year-old, right? So it might just cut itself down. So that's why all these things have been kept in such a secret ways. But I'm going to reveal you whatever can be revealed in the most easiest way so that you get it. And why all this knowledge? I said, why not? When you are becoming all that, you should have all the required knowledges, all the required experiences, so that that question doesn't appear when you become it. When you go for a graduation, you have studied all the things. And once you become a graduate, you know what you have to read before that, right, Kusha? And more than that, it's about experiential rather than just knowing it. Because ये कहा जाता है ना कि experience जो होता है वो सर्वोपरि होता है. Like it is the highest form of realization by your own experiences. So जैसे I believe we are all ready, but before that, in order to reach that space, to even start the process, just close your eyes Just relax and ask a very simple question to yourself. एक छोटा सा सवाल पूछना है आपको अपने आप से. Am I ready for this? क्या मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं? Just ask this within yourself and just sit quietly and you see what happens within you. If you are settling down, अगर आप शांत होते चले जा रहे हो, you are ready for it. अगर बेचैनी हो रही है, then we will talk about that. Your body and mind will give you feedback. For different people it will react differently. अलग अलग लोगों के लिए वो अलग अलग तरीके का प्रभाव डालेगा. For some people it would be a very pleasant question actually. वो मुस्कुराने लगेंगे उस सवाल से ही. Are you ready for it? And for some, a question answer will start within themselves. उनके अंदर ही सवाल जवाब चलने लगेंगे. And when the question comes, who is to be ready? It is the same person who is asking that question. There will be a variation in temperature within yourself also, which is very normal with it. Many of you can clearly feel the difference between the outer body and the inner body. The outer surface will be cool, but the inner surface will be hot, especially back of the head, as if something is rising. Then slowly your face will become absorbed, like it will feel like it is heating up. That's the process. Your hands might go numb. That's the process. It is as if your entire body is awakening. You are able to feel your entire body now. It's like a wave flowing from the legs towards your head and even upwards and down. मानो जैसे तरंग उठ रहे हो शरीर में. You need not analyze it. You need not do anything about it. Clear vibrations in your hands. Slowly let go of all the thoughts. सारे विचारों को जाने दें. even the feeling of sensations, even the feeling of what is happening within you, outside you, just slowly let it go and settle in your breath. अपने सांसों में स्थिर हो जाओ. Your breath will be very small, which is normal. सांसें बहुत ही छोटी होंगी. Slowly it feels like your mind is giving way, and slowly, as if you feel like you are slowly getting into a state of sleep. Let it continue. It doesn't matter. Now again focus on your breath. Bring your consciousness on it. Take a slow and deep breath and slowly release it. Relax and open your eyes. Now, what is Bhairava and what is Bhairavi? The word Bhairava comes from the word Bhiru, which means fear. And Bhairava means the one who is the most fearsome or who is beyond fear. Bhairava has also another meaning. It says Bha means creation, Ra means sustenance, and Va means destruction. So that means all the three qualities of creation, sustenance, and destruction is also the word Bhairava. So there are many stories from where Bhairava appeared. One story goes like when Brahma and Vishnu one fine day, Vishnu out of query, he asked, who is the greatest of the gods? Who is the creator of all? And then Brahma, out of his ignorance and ego, he looked at Shiva, that Shiva has 5 heads, and even I have 5 heads. And Shiva anyways just sits, but I create. And then Brahma says to Vishnu that as I am the creator, you should worship me. And what he started doing is, he started interfering in all the works of Vishnu and Shiva. And then Shiva, who is the most benevolent, but at the same time the most fearsome. If we go and look at Shiva, the image of Shiva, especially the one who doesn't knows it, the first and foremost instance when he sees it, what will be the impression? It looks fearsome. Just think of someone coming to your house just like that. But it is said that he is the most beautiful and the most dreadful as well. Now, how can both these conditions stay in one place? कभी सोचा है ऐसा कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि सुंदरता और असुंदरता एक ही साथ रह सके? Then I would like to give you the example of a very simple thing that you might be seeing every single day, and that will make you understand how that both can stay together. Have you seen a rose plant? It has both thorns and petals. Can you see the piercing and the blooming are happening together? दोनों एक ही साथ. Despite it being a thorny bush, but at the same time it blossoms a rose. Duality है कि नहीं है? Then why the rose and why the thorns? The thorn is there so that the rose can bloom, and the rose blooms so that even the thorns can be loved. So that is the beauty of Bhairava. He is the most fearsome, but at the same time most benevolent. And when Brahma said that I am the ultimate, then Shiva just pulled out one of his jata and threw it on ground, and out of that came out Kala Bhairava. Kala Bhairava means who is beyond time and space. And he appeared, and not even with any weapon, with his nail, he cut down one of the head of Brahma. And from that day on, Brahma didn't have 5 heads, but 4. And because of that, if you go to this Kashi, you will see the Kala Bhairava is holding a head, and that head is of Brahma. और ये कहा जाता है कि शिव को भी ब्रह्म हत्या लगा था, because in his creation of rule and the book of rules, he also got into that. So he went there, and in Kashi he did some ritual, and after that, that head detached itself from his hands. So that is one way. And there are many other things. There is one more thing where there was a demon, and in order to, he had a boon that only a female can kill it. So in that space, Kali appeared, and Kali killed that demon, but out of a rage. When the rage slowly came down silently, like become softer, जब उनका गुस्सा शांत होने लगा, that took a form of a child. उनका जो anger था, that took a form of a child, and that child was fed by Kali herself, and that became Bhairava. And then what did Shiva did? Shiva merged both Kali and this kid into himself, and from there appeared 8 Bhairavas. Then 8 Bhairavas are the Ashtadigapals also. They are also called the Dandapani. They are the ones who take care of the 8 cardinal points. And even in the Sakti Peeth, wherever you go, you will find a Bhairava standing by their side. From those 8 Bhairavas, they have other 7 Bhairavas under them. So total Bhairavas are 64. But out of them, 8 are the major ones, leading ones. And they are all led by the Mahakala Bhairava. So these 8 Bhairavas are Asitanga, Ruru, Chanda, Krodha, Unmata, Bhayankara, Kapali, Bhishana, Samhara. So it goes this way: Asitanga, Ruru Chanda, Krodha Unmata, Bhayankara, Kapali, Bhishana Sanghara, Bhishana and Samhara. So these are the 8 Bhairavas. The 8 Bhairavas has their consorts as 8 Bhairavis. From these 8 Bhairavas and 8 Bhairavis appeared 64 yoginis and their consorts. So someday I will be discussing about those 64 altogether, both the Bhairavas and the Bhairavis as well. But today, instead of talking about the Bhairavas and Bhairavis, what we are going to do is realizing the consciousness of a Bhairava and Bhairavi. And as I said, it is going to be a lot of information kind of thing for you. So just go digest this information, because it is not just about knowing. Once you know it, you will start thinking over it. Once you start thinking over it, you will start working on it. Once you start working on it, you will realize it. And once you realize it, you become that. So we will be talking about the Navatma or the Nava Atma Bhedan. Nava Atma means 9 Atmas, or the 9 different designs of consciousness, which we need to realize in order to reach to the state of Bhairava, which is the provider of bliss and liberation, जो शांति और मुक्ति दिलाते हैं, जो अष्टलक्ष्मी का वरदान देते हैं, उसे प्राप्त करने के लिए उसके 9 मार्ग, 9 टाइप्स और 9 different designs of consciousness. So now I'm going to give you the 9 different designs of it. They have been specifically categorized. The first one being Kala, means time. If you realize time, the essence of time in its completeness, you can become the Bhairava. Then the second one comes the Kula, जिसे हम हिंदी में कूलर कहते हैं, or through which this person has ascended into this earth, means उसका जन्म किस कुल में हुआ है, that is the second. अगर उसने उस कुल की परंपरा को भी देखा कि what is the beginning point, what is the start of it, again he will go back to the source and they will realize that he is the Bhairava itself. Then comes the Nama, the third one. The third design is Nama. Nama means by taking the name again and again of the Lord, slowly, what will happen is it will transform itself from just that human to that form of name. That also is a way of realizing the Bhairava consciousness. Then through jnana or wisdom about it. And then comes the chitta, means awareness. Through awareness also you can achieve to the state of Bhairava. Then comes nada, means sound. Through usage of sound, you can realize the form of Bhairava. You might have heard of something called as Raga Bhairavi. It is in music, right? So it is a nada, it is a music. And even through this, what you call as mantras, these are also nadas. So through which you can realize it. Then comes the seventh, the bindu. और जिसके जरिए अगर आपने बिंदु छेदन कर दिया, then also you will realize the state of Bhairava. Then comes Kala, means all the qualities. If you realize all the qualities, you will become the Bhairava. And the most easy one, my favorite, Jiva, realizing the individual soul. My favorite question, who are you? So all these 9 steps or 9 ways through which all these are the different designs through which a consciousness can be developed. And similar to these 9 supreme consciousness designs, there are 9 designs of supreme energy as well, means the feminine form of the Bhairavas or the Bhairavis. And those 9 designs of supreme energy are Vama. Vama means left. Left side means the energy that flows in the Ida Nadi is called as the Vama. Ambika is the energy that flows in the Pingala or the right side. Then comes Jyeshtha. Jyeshtha means the eldest. This energy is the energy that flows when the Sushumna is awakened. That is called as the Jyeshtha. Then comes Rodri. Rodri is the protectress of space, all the space that is protected by her. That is called as the Rodri. Then comes the power of will, Ichha. Then comes the power of knowledge or wisdom, the energy of wisdom, Jnana. Then comes the energy of action, Karma ki kshamta, Kriya. The 8th is Shanti, the energy of tranquility or happiness or bliss. And the ninth one is para, which is transcendental energy, which is beyond the realm of this physicality. And all these forms and all these designs of consciousness and energy, they very, very easily or readily or deeply react to intonation of mantras and regulated breath pattern. अगर आप मंत्र का जाप सही कर पाए या तो अपने सांसों को सही तरीके से इस्तेमाल कर पाए, उसकी ऊर्जा को, आप ये क्वालिटीज को प्राप्त कर सकते हो. You can become a Bhairava or a Bhairavi as well. Now, why it is so important about mantras and breath? There are three important things. The most important thing that you have to understand is whenever there is a creation happens, the Paramatma, or here you can call as the Sadashiva, he just sits, and in order to create the creation, he lets its energy come out of it. When the energy comes out of it, it has three qualities: Jnana, Ichha, and the third is the creative power. Now, whenever Shakti is completely submerged into Shiva, there is no question. But the moment these three qualities come out, along with them also comes out doubt and questions. How is the creation process done? When Shiva allows Shakti to come out, she starts to vibrate, जिसे स्पंदना कहते हैं. And when that vibration begins, from that vibration comes a sound called as the nada. And from that nada, it takes a physical form in the form of shabda or the akshara. And in this akshara is the hidden power of the source, which is called as matrika. And the person who realizes the matrika, which is hidden in the words, if they realize completely the matrikas, they can realize the tattva of Shiva. And because these aksharas have all the details about the Parabrahma, it itself is called as the Shabda Brahma or the Akshara Brahma. Again, one more thing why it is called as Akshara Brahma is Akshara means which cannot be destroyed. And Brahma is something that cannot be destroyed. And that's why, because of the power innated inside it, क्योंकि वो शक्तियां already इस अक्षर के अंदर है और इसकी it cannot be destroyed, it is called as the Akshara Brahma. So the day when we discuss about the Akshara Brahma, we will be elaborately talking about the alphabets as well as the matrikas hidden in that. And how to realize those matrikas and how to work on those matrikas, वो और किसी दिन के लिए हम बात करेंगे. So now when you are realizing like how these three things come into existence, from spandana to nada, from nada to akshara, from akshara to prithvi, like to this creation of this entire creation that has been created. So here what we have to understand is that the Shakti that we call as the Devi, she is present in all the three realms: in the realm of physicality, in the form of non-physicality, and in the form of absolute pure consciousness. So Devi is available all across. That's why energy is available all across, and energy is also residing within you. And in order to realize that energy that is residing within you, you have to work on the Trisira. Trisira is nothing but the three means three, Sira means pathways. And the three pathways are the Ida, the Pingala, and the Sushumna. When you start working on the unification of Ida and Pingala and Sushumna arises, we all know that the Shakti or the Kundalini Shakti that is lying dormant will start flowing. And when it does the Sata Chakra Bhedana, means all the 6 chakras are pierced, it reaches to the 7th chakra. Before you reach to the 7th chakra, there are other 9 chakras in between. Just from the Agna chakra to the Brahma chakra, to the Sahasrara, there are 9 chakras in between. So those 9 chakras, again, like might be in the coming weeks, I'll be talking about 27 chakras. In that, the 9 chakras will also be discussed about. Now, that is the importance of Tantra, because Tantra says either by learning the vibrations or through the mantras or through the yantra or through the awakening of the Kundalini, you can realize all this. And there are specifically 3 very important processes to attain the higher state of awareness. Agar aapko apne highest state of awareness ko pana hai, so there are 3 specific ways which I discussed right now. One is penetration into the Navatma, all these 9 qualities that we discussed. And then piercing of the Trishira, or piercing the awareness through the energy that flows in the Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. And the third is awareness of the 3 realms of Shakti. Shakti के तीनों गुणों को अगर जान लिए तो शक्ति के 3 गुण क्या है, जिसे त्रिका कहा जाता है. त्रिका का मतलब भी होता है 3. This is related to the entire amalgamation of experience that arise in the relation to awakening of the gross, subtle and causal levels. त्रिका का मतलब ये होता है कि ये संपूर्णता से जो भी आप एक्सपीरियंस करने वाले हो, जब इन द अवेकनिंग जब होता है, इन द ग्रॉस लेवल, इन द सटल लेवल एंड इन द कॉजल लेवल, जब ये तीनों चीजों का मतलब मैटर, एनर्जी एंड कॉन्शियसनेस एंड प्योर स्पिरिट, ये तीनों में जब आप कॉन्शियसनेस लेके जाते हो, तब त्रिका का जागरण होता है. एवरीथिंग इज एनर्जी. That is why Shakti is present in all lokas and all realms of existence. क्योंकि देवी की शक्ति हर जगह प्रभावित है, भूर्भुवः स्वः में. So all the energies of Devi is vibrating across all levels. That's why Devi is not just limited to one space, but she is available across all beings, all things. And each of the above can be realized and experienced through the awareness of breath or mantras or both together. So ये सारे चीजों को जानने के लिए, ये सारे चीजों को समझने के लिए आपके पास रास्ते अवेलेबल है. But what are the ways? This is just knowledge. This is just names. This is just things that I'm hearing for the first time might be. How many of you are hearing all these things for the first time? So when you are just hearing this for the first time, कि consciousness भी इतने तरीके के designs में हो सकते हैं. Energy can be of so many designs, so many different ways. It doesn't feel anything. It is just like filling your head with more and more names and more wisdom. But this is not what I want you to do. I want you to realize all these things. How will you realize all these things? Through the 112 methods. What are the 112 methods? The 112 methods of nothing but the Vijnana Bhairava. Because Vijnana Bhairava has all the qualities in it. Because what Vijnana Bhairava says is, it does not matter who you are, but you still matter. Because whatever you are, whoever you are already the creation of the divine and the divine itself in an unforgettable state. And through all these processes, you will realize your own true self. So with this, you might be knowing where I am indicating. I am again indicating back to Vijnana Bhairava, for which you have already done 9 processes. How many of you remember it? You see, you didn't realize I said there are 9 ways, and I have already given you 9 different processes of Vijnana Bhairava. Why did you think I stopped at 9? Because those 9 have all the seeds to realize your true self. We can run to all the 112, except, as I said, 3 or 4 are there that cannot be done. Apart from that, you need not even go that. Those 9, if you can really practice, it is enough to make you realize. But we don't practice. Because every Sunday there should be something new. But that fellow, he just sat in the little hut and kept on hitting the rice, and he got realized. How are you going to realize it? What pathway do you choose? So Kamlendarji is practicing the 4th one. Very good. Who all are practicing it? Whichever one, the first one, the second one, or the 9th one. Because you will come to realize one thing. Okay, Hariva is practicing. You will come to realize one thing, that one particular thing is absolutely going in tune with you. Aapke liye hi hai. Because when you do that process, you feel so connected to it. Now, all those people, those who are here and they have not gone through the Vijnana Bhairava process also, it is available on our YouTube channel. You can go watch it. All the 9 are available, right, Haribhai? All the 9 are available. Go back, check it again. But if you are not happy with that, just let me know. We will start the 10th one. We can learn all the processes. But what I want you to do is find out which process is for you, and then start your sadhana on that part. Because it is not only about knowing, it's about being. But ultimately, when I said that when Shiva has to create something, it lets its Shakti out. From Spandana to, what is the next? The first is vibration. The second is Nada. The third is Bindu. So the Bindu becomes the nucleus through which that energy passes through. So Shivji is practicing the high and low breath consciousness process. Okay, fine. So even if you just connect with one thing, we will do a process right away. Let us see if we can touch upon our base, if we can touch on the source. And mind you, this is not included in those 112. But as Shiva said, nothing can be out of this 112. Everything is already included in it. The energy might be hidden in that, but the process might be different. So are we all ready? तैयार सब? अभी एक प्रक्रिया करेंगे. So just sit in the most comfortable way. Keep your spine straight. And we will take one by one 3 things. Okay. And those three things, let us see what it does to us. Nada, Bindu, and Spandana. So we will start from the Bindu, then we will move to Nada, and then finally to Spandana. If you want to dim the lights, you can dim the lights. If you are comfortable that way, you can sit that way. You can sit with your hands in your lap, left hand down, right hand above it, thumb touching each other. बायां हाथ नीचे, दायां हाथ ऊपर, दोनों थंब एक दूसरे को टच करते हुए. And just relax into that posture. But spine will be straight, head, neck alignment should be there. And now we will start with the Bindu. You can choose any part of your body. Or rather, I would like to say, if you focus on your heart chakra or the Anahata chakra, just think as if there is a point, a Bindu over your heart chakra, and your entire focus will be focused onto that point. You can choose the color of it, but if you choose it at white, it will be much better for you. So that Bindu or that dot is white in color, and you just look at it. Complete focus on that one spot, one dot. Get completely connected with that Bindu. There is nothing to see, there is nothing to imagine, just connect with that dot. It is as if you have slowly dissolved into it. आप संपूर्णता से उसके अंदर समा गए हो. So now when you are in the state of absolute silence and focusing on that bindu, slowly bring the awareness on the source of that bindu, which is vibration itself. It might be in a form of vibration that you feel, that the focus on that bindu or the move or the bindu itself will move and slowly go into a state of dissolvence, and only the vibration will be left. And if you are not able to experience that vibration, then just try to hear the sound. It is nothing like a word, it is just the sound of the silence. Focus on the sound. And this is not the sound of the external things, it is just a sound that resides within you. And this sound doesn't have any sound, it is the sound of the silence. So listen to the deepest silence of your own self. And now from the sound to the source of the sound, which is not anything but pure consciousness and the vibration at which the level the consciousness is vibrating. Here you are already in a very deep state. So just allow it and merge with the supreme consciousness, where there is no difference between the creation and the creator. Completely merged as one consciousness. Complete cessation of you. आपका मैं कुछ है ही नहीं. The disappearance of you is the appearance of the divine. Just sit there, completely merged into that one reality. Now, when you are reaching to this space of non duality, there will be a space of so much of silence and tranquility, and slowly you will hit upon something as ananda. Ananda means there is no presence of any sorrow. You cannot call it as happiness, but just ananda, which is completely devoid of all sorrows. Now slowly we'll come back from that supreme conscious reality to duality again. By focusing on the vibration. The vibration is creating a sound as Om, and that sound is creating the form of Om. Slowly chant within yourself. Om. Also see the form of Om. 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 Now focus back on your breath. सांसों के ऊपर ध्यान जो बिल्कुल ना के बराबर, which is not even existing kind of. But bring the focus on that. Feel the air entering into your nostrils and deep down into your belly and slowly coming back. Once you focus on your breath, you are aware of your body as well. So slowly move the body a little bit. And take a deep breath again through the nose and exhale it through the mouth. Rub your hands together. And keep it on your face. And when you are ready, you can remove the hand and open your eyes slowly. So you can stretch your body if you want, because your body will be like it feels like there is already a box around your body which is fixed. So once you move and you stretch it, it will break that pattern. In this space, do you want to speak? In this space, do you want to question? Just again go back to close eyes and sit. You know what is this space? You remember the last time I said it can take you to a Savikalpa Samadhi state. We were not guiding anything. We were not saying that imagine this or that. Only there were some cardinal points that we had to. And around like 40-45 minutes went by. Because when you ask that, na Shivji, that's why I said reaching to this space is a bit typical. Because now when your mind comes back and asks the question, what happened? It will not have a logical answer to that. But in this state, you can even change your DNA sequencing. The entire pattern of your body can be changed. I said only there are only certain things that I can discuss, others cannot be. But this process, if you do it, you can regenerate the entire cells of your body. You can look much younger. These are only the physical aspects of it. But ultimately, you realize something. There are two spaces now. On one side, there are all the questions, and the other side, there are all the answers. No questions at all. What did you lose? What did you gain? How was the session? Doesn't matter. Might not be too entertaining, but the space that you touch, that is more important. How many of you are still able to sit in that silence and able to hear the Om? And slowly for some people the head will become heavy, so don't worry, वो थोड़ी देर के बाद ठीक हो जाएगा विद्या जी. तो प्रोसेसर थोड़ा गर्म हो जाता है नहीं तो. But I would like to leave you here. And when you let me know that you are ready, we will start with the 10th process of Bigyan Bhairav. Apart from that, yes, the other understandings of it is required, because as and when we slowly move in the ladder of Bigyan Bhairav, we have to know certain things. So when that decoding of lokas, the decoding of Akshara Brahma and all those things happen, it would be much easier for us to climb that ladder. But for now, you can do one thing. I'm going to leave you here, but if you have time and no urgent work, go back and just sit silently with closed eyes for some more time, whichever you can afford. Why I want to do that is, many of us say that when you are there, we are able to do it easily. I want you to just sit alone with yourself and let's see if you achieve that space or not. And you will hit it. Even it is for 5 more minutes, even it is for 10 more minutes, just go and sit, so that you get the taste of achieving this state on your own, without any aid, without any help, without any guidance also in that part. But yes, keep an alarm for at least 15 minutes or so. Don't cross that, because beyond that you will need guidance. Even if you are going to sit, just keep an alarm of 15 minutes and sit, so that you should awake before that, or at least within that 15 minutes. Because this space has such a pull towards itself that you might just go deep into that and you will not know the time. And it might just take you a few hours to wake you up back. So don't do that. Only 15 minutes का alarm लगा दो. Even if you are sitting, अगर आप बैठ सकते हो तो 15 मिनट का alarm लगा के बैठो. And don't cross beyond that 15 minutes. Okay. So with this, I will close the session now. Don't worry, even if you don't remember all those things, it is not required. But slowly we will work on all the 9 steps as well. One by one by one. So go ahead. And I will meet you again on Wednesday with your Q&A, questions and answers. How many of you experimented with the Shivaling? Kamlender ji, Vidya ji, Sudha ji. Okay, good. So Kamlender ji, did you experience it? Yes. So can you just share for a moment like what you did and what happened?
Yes, प्रणाम गुरुदेव.
Pranam.
एक्चुअली मेरे पास में घर पे ही है शिवलिंग, तो उनको स्नान कराते कराते जब लास्ट स्टेज आ रही थी, तो बस एकदम आंख बंद करके तो इस ब्रह्मानंद जो पोजीशन है यहाँ पर एकदम मतलब ड्रॉप तो नहीं मेरे को महसूस हुआ, लेकिन एकदम जैसे ठंडक हो जाती है ना, बहुत भयंकर सी।
And it would have shaken you up, right?
यस,
एक
मतलब वो
मोमेंट के
एकदम
लिए
पूरा
हिला देगा
ठंडा
पूरा।
ठंडा 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 हो गया था यहाँ पे पूरा।
एंड द मोमेंट आप उसके ऊपर फोकस रखोगे, इट विल शेक यू अप फ्रॉम विद इन।
हम्म।
मतलब ये क्या हो गया?
बट इट वाज कम्प्लीटली ऑल टुगेदर कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस था। यहाँ पे एकदम ऐसे ठंडक ऐसी हो गई थी, मतलब जैसे काफी सारा वो, थोड़े टाइम में वो अपने आप चला भी गया एकदम।
हाँ, it will be a momentary thing. It will
यस
not be there like that. But in that moment, it will shake you up.
यस।
कि मैंने वहां डाला और यहाँ कैसे हो रहा है। चलो, good.
थैंक यू थैंक यू।
Thank you, Kamlendra ji. So, thank you everyone, because I don't want to speak after this. I want to go and sit. So, please go ahead. And Haribhai, you can close the session.
Yes, Manash.
And as I said, please, even if you are going and sitting, keep an alarm of 15 minutes. And those who don't agree to me, I am not responsible if you go into deep trance for a few hours. But it is not recommended now. Okay? So slowly we will move. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your presence. And we will delve deep further, step by step, into it in the upcoming weeks. Till then, Aham Brahmasmi.
Thank you, Manash. We're going to close the session now.